Live here, not live yet. Okay. All right, and we should be good to go. Let's do this.
All right, welcome to episode 111 of the DualShock and Sense podcast. I am your host, Soul, the connoisseur anime wife, who's joined as always by my two co-hosts. We got Macho here. How you doing, man?
How's it going, everybody? Boricua Macho here. Yes, sir. I'm doing good, man. It's been a good week. It's been a lot of fun getting things in motion. I'm excited to get the week started. Uh oh, I hear echo.
I don't.
I'm an idiot. That's why. But yeah, no, we're good. I got everything all set. Yeah, that my bad, Alpha.
Good to know Walt here.
My name is Walt. Thank you for coming. You may know me as the other third of this podcast. Long ago, before the nations were in harmony, but then everything changed when all these video games came out, and I got overwhelmed. And now I'm here, and I love you. Hi, how are you? Let's get it.
We got a great show planned for you guys. Lots to talk about. A few bangers just released this past
Awesome.
Friday. Um, so can't wait to talk about those. Yeah, I want to remind everyone to go ahead and like the podcast, share it out, all that good stuff. Before we move into these topics, let's talk about the games that we've been playing, and I guess this will sort of tie into like our two major topics of the podcast. So I guess I'll go first because I haven't been playing Spider-Man 2, so yeah, we can get me out of the way first. Just more Baldur's Gate 3, but I haven't really been playing much of it at all these past 2 weeks. Um I think mainly because I don't know if you guys have gotten to Act 3 yet, but like I'm finding myself slowing down just in terms of like Act 1 and Act 2, I couldn't put the game down. Like I was playing like every chance that I got, and for whatever reason Act 3, because you're moving into like the big city proper, I'm feeling like choice paralysis almost, where I'm just being presented with there's so much happening that I just spend like a gaming session just ending up like not doing anything at all because there's just like so much to do. So yeah, that's kind of been like my Baldur's Gate 3 experience recently. Haven't made too much progress in Act 3. There's definitely been like in the past couple days I've definitely been getting the ball rolling a bit more. Um But yeah, that's just kind of like where I'm at right now. I do have Phantom Liberty downloaded, just haven't started it yet. But yeah, Baldur's Gate 3 has definitely still been the focus for me uh these past like 2 weeks or so. Yeah, that's pretty much it for me. What about you guys?
Macho, kick it off, you lazy bum.
No, go for it. I'm trying to level out the audios here right now.
Well, I haven't had the paralysis, but I've had a good old case of buy and then not play and then buy and not play. So what I'm trying to do is whenever I do buy a game, I try to actually play it. And recently, the one that actually kicked it off was Lies of P. So I've been playing Lies of P, and last night I started Spider-Man 2, and I've also started Sea of Stars, and I've also been diving back into Owl Boy. Uh, so Baldur's Gate took kind of a back seat at the moment because the games just didn't stop coming out, and now I'm thinking of probably next week picking up Mario, but I know that that's another game that I'm gonna have to put time into, and then I'm gonna neglect one of the other four that I have. Uh, but I'm having an amazing time with all of the games that I'm playing currently. Lies of P and Spider-Man 2 being the highlights right now. I'm like not even an hour into Spider-Man, but already that opening act, opening just first 30 minutes were insane. Uh, and Lies of P, in the words of Macho, I mean, this is the closest, if not the like, this is Bloodborne 2. Like, this is truly like the first game that I can actually say like this is what I've needed for the last couple of years. It brings a tear to the eye. It really makes me just want Bloodborne 2 even more. Like this is incredible. It's a spin on a fairy tale that I really didn't know we not needed, but just we're gonna be shocked and impressed by the way that's being tackled. It's very inspired, not so much from the Souls game, but very much inspired by Bloodborne. Like there's a lot of mechanics that harken back to a lot of those, like the what do you call it? Like the aggressive gameplay, like getting health back from attacking. Uh, the way that you can get health pretty easily. Uh, not it being necessarily something that you have to sit down and refill. Like it's very kinetic, it's very fast. I love it. It's very Bloodborne. Um, and Spider-Man, it's a I will say Spider-Man, I'm disappointed. They're using assets from the first. No, I'm kidding. No, the Spider-Man 2 is really good. It's beautiful. I checked out the best settings for it. I'm playing it on fidelity. However, I'm playing it on VRR smoothed and 120 HS because my just I think the OLED can handle the 120 or can do 120. So it is phenomenal. The performance is not being uh, I think it's at 40 FPS right now, but it plays incredible. That's a good middle point for me. That's kind of how I played Horizon back then, the first couple of hours at least. But yeah, man, uh, yeah, it's been good. Good games and shows and movies. I watched oh my god, what was the well, to be fair, but as Soul, I'm gonna use Soul's Soul's catchphrase. With my shawty, I went and watched not a movie y'all are familiar with, but I watched the Taylor Swift concert last weekend, and gotta say, man,
Ooh,
I was good. It was
Wow.
good.
Wow. He
It
was
was good.
forced to watch that shit.
crazy.
No, no, I'll be honest. Blink twice if I'm in danger. I'm not blinking because I'm pretty. That was good. I had a
You
couple
were off
drinks.
watching the Taylor Swift concert while I was off watching The Creator. That's crazy.
Yeah, listen, man. The creators, that's the next one in line, though. That's the one I'm watching
It's a
this next week.
damn good movie, man.
It's good. Okay, so it's good sci-fi.
That movie, goddamn floored me. It's really good.
Oof. All right. No, then I'm excited. I that's one that I've actually been anticipating for a while. And there's another one that's out right now that I forget. Uh, that I also want to watch. Oh my God. No, it's a mystery movie. So on Monday, I'm gonna watch. Regal does every now and then on a Monday. They do mystery movie. You don't know what you're watching, but for $5, you get to watch a movie that's not out yet, and it might be a banger. It might not. Last time I went to watch a movie, which was about 2 weeks ago, mystery movie. It was Dumb Money, the movie about the GameStop stock and like the retelling of it, and it was actually pretty good. So that was a good $5 spent. uh, no, but I want to watch the creator, man. I'm really stoked for that one. It's like I haven't been excited for a sci-fi movie since like Elysium or
It sounds like you're making up for it. Like, no, 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 don't worry, man. I'll watch it. I'll watch it. But first, Taylor
no,
Swift.
no, but no, because the thing is that Exorcist. Exorcist was the other one I watched. Saw X, I have in mind. I've just been on a movie like because I have the Regal Unlimited thing, and Killers of the Flower Moon is another one I want to watch. But that's like almost a 5 hour movie. But it looks incredible. I want to, man. I don't know, man. I'm overwhelmed with media. I don't know what to do. I'm analysis paralysis with what I want to do. I'll just go take a shit. I don't know. Anyways, Macho, what are you doing?
I'm good, but just as I talk, would you guys mind checking audio for both of you guys to make sure it's good? I'm messing around with levels, and Press Alpha says I can hear certain people at one point, and I sounded really hot, so just let me know real quick. And any case, right now I'm kind of doing all the stuff like in the background as we're talking, but I've been good, man. So lately it's just been a lot of. Let me just retrace my thoughts for the past couple of weeks. I mean, well, I guess to really start off with, before like getting to the games I'll be playing, I'll just let everybody know too that, hold on, what's this thing here? There you go. That I'm actually gonna start streaming, man. We're gonna start actually doing some live video game playthroughs up on Twitch.tv. I have all the equipment set up. I got the Elgato ready for a PS5 and Switch gameplay. So my first live stream, I'll be going out with Final Fantasy 14 on Monday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Catch me on
Oh
Twitch.tv
wow,
slash
rock.
Booty Macho. Yeah, man. Obviously, right? I gotta give the first stream a dedication to Final Fantasy. Like that's like gonna be like the mainstay. So, and after that though, on Thursday we're gonna do Resident Evil 4 as a celebration for like Halloween, and then after Resident Evil 4 we're gonna jump straight into Yakuza 0, and that's gonna be the banger. I'm excited for that one. We sound good. Well, cool. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, so follow me on twitch.tv slash Boricua Macho, and I still have all the social setups. I got TikTok, and I'm back on Twitter, begrudgingly, but I'm back on Twitter. And yeah, so I'm gonna have all those socials down in the description box so you guys can come follow in the stream and everything. It's gonna be a lot of fun. But as far as games I've been playing, Final Fantasy 7 Ever Crisis, literally that game I've been playing every day. So I talked about in our last podcast and how before that that is just near the end game of it. It's getting way more RPG. It's just feeling a lot more like Final Fantasy VII, which is really nice because one of the things that makes the original game so much fun to play is that materia system where you have your archetypes for certain characters. Like Cloud is definitely like the sword slashing character, right? Tifa's a brawler, Barrett being the tank, long range DPS, and Aerith being the healer, stuff like that. But in that game, the original one, giving the material certain characters means that you can really fit anybody for anything. Obviously, they lean towards one archetype, but regardless, you can still kind of really mess around with everything and see how you like it. And the same thing here with Final 7 Ever Crisis. The more you get into the end game, the more challenges you're gonna find with certain boss fights, where you're just like, all right, I have to designate like certain characters a certain way with the material that you're getting. So it's getting a lot more fun, and we just have a Halloween event too, and Cloud has his like Frankenstein. Uh, I would say he's like the Frankenstein monster, not Doctor Frankenstein, but he's like the Frankenstein monster get up, and then Sephiroth has his full-on Bloodborne get up, and it looks fucking rad, man. Like it's so damn cool. So I've been enjoying the hell out of that game for the past couple weeks. And Liza P. I mean, Walt, you touched on it before. I just texted you literally the night before Spider-Man 2 came out that how special this game was. And just as a context for where I am, I just beat the King of Puppets, and that was, man, what a ride that was. Not knowing anything about this boss and what like the opening cutscene was or seeing any gameplay of it. I was just absolutely floored by the music, the set piece. I will say it was the first phase was a tad easy, and then it just ramps up right afterwards. It's like getting to what's that boss in Dark Souls 3 DLC, Walt? Is it not Lady Maria's in Bloodborne? but his sister
Sister Freed.
is it Sister Freed? Okay, yeah. So Sister
It's a
Freed,
DLC.
yeah. So the you had the
So
multiple
she has
faces.
three faces. Yeah.
Yeah, multiple faces. So yeah, the King of Puppets was like a similar experience and just the feeling of like, oh, okay, yeah, yeah, we did it. All right, cool, cool. Oh wait, shit's about to go down, and then it just gets
Mind
even
you,
crazier. It's so
mind
dope.
you, Sister Freed is hard from the get go. Like I think her first phase is pretty like it is kind of like tough at beginning because she's so nimble. But then what fucks you up is not the second phase. Is that
Hmm.
you're like, oh right, second, a third, and you're like, oh wow, this is new. But then they're like, no, let's ramp it up like 10. And then she has dual sides. Oh, okay. That's where I told you like the human sized bosses are the worst, and I think that's the case with the Puppet King, right? Or Puppet Master,
Yeah, the King of Puppets. Yeah, yeah.
King of
It
Puppets.
is. Yep. It's the same sort of idea where you're just like, oh yeah, yeah, it's gonna ramp up, and then it just gets crazy. I was like, oh, okay, this, yeah, I might need to let me get my gamer pose. Let me lean forward and actually,
Ooh, turtle.
and actually, and actually concentrate here. But it's just so special, man, and like it's the level design, just the overall atmosphere of it, and one of the reasons why I impulse bought this game so was because I was watching someone stream. I was watching Maximilian do stream it, and I saw the ending, and he got the true ending of it. That was enough for me to go like, okay, yeah, no, I need to play this game right now because what they did with it and what they're doing with this thing is just something for me that I was like, I need to experience. It's like as someone that's a big fan of taking a twist on fairy tales. Obviously, me and Walt talk about Alice Madness Returns on this podcast and how much we love that. Same thing here with Liza P. So it's really damn cool what they did, and I'm excited to get more into it. I was almost a little sad that I had to go play Spider-Man 2. Because I was like, damn, I just finished this really cool part, Liza P, and want to keep continuing. That's all I thought about the entire day, or before before I went to bed. And then again, once I boot up Spider-Man 2, man,
Yeah,
I
Liza B is on my list, man. It looks just that aesthetic always works for me. So yeah, I need to get around to it at some point.
oh, it's awesome, man. Well,
This
I
is a
kind of
perfect Halloween game.
yeah, honestly, it is. Well, I kind of zoned out a little bit when you're talking.
That usually happens. What's up?
Ew.
No, I was testing audio, and I was fucking around in the background. Did you talk about the weapons?
I did not actually.
Okay.
Do you want to go into depth?
Yeah, just I need to touch on this, man, because the weapon disassembling and basically making your own sort of tailored weapon to you with its own different stats and power ups. I think I might like it better than Bloodborne
Interesting.
for
Okay.
Bloodborne's
What do you
transformations,
like?
because
What do you like more about it?
what makes Bloodborne's transformation weapons cool, right? Is when you actually take out the sword and then you put it back into the big ass block that's on the back of your character, and it becomes a hammer, right? That never gets old. But for Liza P, when you could take the the blade of an axe and attach it to a freaking what's it called? Basically like the handle of a fancy sword, for how they call it, rapier or something like that. And then you get different stat builds on that one. It's so satisfying when something actually goes off and it works. Because in my head, when I was facing against this boss, I was like, all right, I need to do more damage to it in like a limited amount of time because it's giving me a brief window to do X amount of damage, right? So I need to maximize that. So what I did is I did attach that axe blade to the handle of the sword, and the handle of the sword, what its power does is that when you use it, it powers up your attack. And then for the blade, I had it so that every time I did a different kind of attack on it, it would just keep getting more and more and more and more. So basically, just dishing out so much damage, and then it worked. The strategy worked, and it was so damn satisfying. And you could do that with just about every weapon that's not a non-special weapon. And I'm being vague on. I'm using non-special as a vague term for a reason. But in any case, it's just really damn cool that you can. This system itself is just awesome, and then pair that with the elemental damages that you can do. Yeah, yeah. I think I like this better than Bloodborne.
Yeah, I mean, it offers more flexibility too. With Bloodborne, you can't really mix and match. You only have one weapon, and that weapon has one other version. With this, you can one weapon has as many versions of the other weapons there are. Like if you have 20 weapons, and then each weapon has 20 combinations. I forget the math equation that you can use to kind of count the amount of combinations something has, but I assume if you were to take, let's say, 20 weapons and do the equation, that's like hundreds of combinations, I'm guessing.
Possibly.
So,
Because you also have to take into the fact of that there's elemental builds too with it.
correct.
So like one of the
I'm
things
gonna look that up later. Yeah.
so one of the things I got that I had to find, I didn't use it yet, but I keep upgrading it because I have a feeling I'm gonna need it, is that you find a short spear weapon, but the spear tip of it, or the spear blade rather, is covered in acid. So that there's your acid build right there, and I can attach it to something um, like a long pole arm that I got from maybe like a scythe or something, right? And then there you go. Now you have this long range weapon that you're able just to throw acid onto those that are weakest to it. So that's what I end up doing with this. So since puppets are weak to electricity, that's what I use with the electric weapon that I have that you get from early in the game. I just literally attach it to like a long arm, and next thing you know, I'm just like killing these things from a distance. And one of the things I attached to it, I think, was the original arm for the axe. And what this does, I think it was that one. But what this does basically is that you're able to just um, basically get a free hit on you. You just hold L1 and triangle, and then you see P just brace up, and he's able just to take any kind of hit from any boss. So
Oh wow.
yeah, yeah. So whenever I saw like one of the bosses just charging straight at me, I was like, I couldn't react in time to dodge it. I just use that combination, and he just braces it up. He doesn't lose any health or anything, and I just turn around and start wailing on the boss. So the what
That
this game is awesome, man. Like it's so damn good, and the story's amazing too. It's definitely up there for my games of the year so far.
it's so good. I wouldn't doubt it if it won Game of the Year. I wouldn't
From
like
certain
mind you,
outlets, yeah, for certain outlets.
my no no, but that's the thing, mind you, it's it's in a interesting predicament because if you didn't have big names this year like Zelda or Spider-Man, I could see this game winning. Uh,
Yeah,
I
100%.
but
don't think
it's
I don't think it would have.
well,
No,
Sekiro won that
I
one year. Like
Well, but
the way
but
that
also
these underdogs like and Stray was on the year like games of the years last
but
year. Like I
even
don't
even
believe anyone
without
anymore.
but even without Zelda and Spider-Man, there's way too much competition. Like you didn't even mention that From Software game came out this year. You know, we had Dead Space remake, Resident Evil 4, Hi-Fi Rush. Like even without the big names, there is. I feel like there's several other titles that would probably go like above Liza P.
no,
The thing is that
play the game, man.
minus
Play the
yeah
game,
no
bro.
like
play. This
the
is
way
the
that
only
this
time I'll
game
say it. Play the game.
It's
this
better than RE4 remake and Dead Space remake.
I'll let you know when I
Oh,
play
let me
RE4.
you
know.
know what's
I'll
no
let you
you know
know when
what's
I play
crazy
RE4 remake. I'll let you know.
you know what's crazy as much as I love the remake for Dead Space and as much as I love Dead Space like I don't know if that's my bias with FromSoft's or Bloodborne inspired games, but I would put this game above the remake for Dead Space. Like,
I
and
think
I'm
it
not
is.
even
I think it is a little bit on.
talk about recency bias.
I think it's a little bit
Talk
a
about
little
recency
bit
bias,
of your
motherfucker.
From
But
Software because you'd be on your
but
you'd be getting those knee pads ready from Software, man.
all the time, listen, listen. That's not true, because last year I kept saying how Elden Ring wasn't all that, and I still stand by it. I'm not here, twiddling Miyazaki's ankles. I'm just saying that this game has the perfect combination of the macabre nature of Bloodborne and the fast-paced combat of Sekiro, while also
oh my god.
incorporating elements like the arm. Like the arm is very much the prosthetic from Sekiro. You can also customize that with different types of elemental attacks or techniques. Uh, I don't know, man. Recency, bias, everyone's biased. No one, there is not a single human being on this earth that is not biased. That does not exist. That does not exist. You can
All right, all
you
right,
can
all right,
say
okay. And so,
no.
no, because I
Do
under.
not get me riled up this soon.
Well, let's say for Soul, um,
Play the game.
well, yeah, well, one play the game, but also I like understand what you're saying because like if it was like a year like 2019, then Liza P would have been the absolute winner, you
Oh
know,
yeah, for sure.
For sure.
But for stuff like this year,
They're both
yeah,
incredible.
yeah, for stuff like this year, I'd like if we didn't have Tears of the Kingdom, we didn't have Baldur's Gate 3,
Final
uh,
Fantasy.
Final Fantasy 16, but even that one I think still gonna not gonna be nominated for Game of the Year, but I can see Liza P being nominated over Final Fantasy 16 for Game of the Year. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but like, if there wasn't like a bunch of heavy hitters, and like, yeah, for sure, Liza P would have been nominated, 100%.
And also Mario, man. You have fucking Wonder. Like that's I know this game has no chance against this year. Like no chance. But in another world where it wasn't this stacked, because 2023 has turned out to be one of the greatest years in gaming in like recent years. Uh, it has no way. This
I
is
mean,
just another fantastic game.
just this week, man, we had Spider-Man, Super Mario Wonders, and the best game out of this trio,
Yeah.
Sonic Stars.
Shut up.
Oh man, yeah,
Shut the-
absolutely, man. You gotta go fast and not buy it. You know.
And we've all been waiting for what a week to launch that game.
No, and Kong, the King Kong game too. That game
Oh
was
Yeah,
amazing,
god.
and
Yeah.
City Skylines also. Their
bro.
reviews
Yes,
just came out.
It
Really excited for that game.
it's a great year for games.
was so crazy. I was actually gonna buy that for a friend too, as like just a nice like thank you gift. And then I saw the news, and yeah.
Yeah, and then
Yeah, it
you
was.
know what's next week?
No,
But
We got Alan Wake 2.
that's next week.
are
Holy
you
shit.
serious? Are
Yep,
you serious?
and then Game of the Year, Ghost Runner 2, baby.
Now that I know you're capping. I know you're being satirical
No,
right now. No, there's no way. There is no way.
you guys know how much
I
I
don't
love
have
that.
to play it. I don't
You
have
guys
to play it.
know how much I love that game.
I know you love it, and that's where then I Uno reverse and go, oh,
So
there's the bias,
Soul must be from New York wearing that cap. Oh boy.
bro works at a lids. That's crazy.
Listen,
Those still exist.
all I'm saying is if the game keeps up the quality that was in the demo, then that game is gonna be in my top 5. Easy.
Easy. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, that's fair. You didn't
I
play a
will
lot of
say
games this year.
I will say that the year that Solar Ash came out, it became one of my top five. Man,
Yeah,
I
that
get
game's
it.
in my top 10, I think.
That game is phenomenal. No, I get it, but you know that's what happens when we don't play many games. I mean, in my case, I haven't played Resident Evil 4 remake. I haven't played it. I have it, but just like Macho, I haven't
Why
played it
am I the one catching strays, man?
because you never played Last of Us.
That's true.
That I don't see a correlation between that and this conversation.
I mean, you missed out.
Sorry, guys.
You missed out on a couple of games this year, though. At least in the running, right? Like, you didn't play Dead Space, right? Or did you?
Yeah.
No,
No, no, no.
because
Soul.
that game's too scary.
Really?
Yeah, but also
it is pretty scary. It is pretty scary.
to be fair, like I played first of all, Wasteland 3 took like a month alone to like dedicate it, or probably over a month. I don't remember how long I was talking about that game, but it took forever to get through that game. And it's gonna be the same thing with obviously with Baldur's Gate 3. I mean, I've been playing it literally since September 6th. And it's the only thing I've been playing since September 6th. So
Nice.
like,
Damn. Okay.
yeah, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I need to catch up.
Yes, sir. Yes, you do. In any case, yeah. I mean, what a tangent. But yeah, Liza P is incredible. Play it.
It is.
I think there's anything else I want to say about it. I think that's about
What
it.
are the developers? Where are they based at?
Korea.
Hmm.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. No, they did their homework and then some. especially with
And that's
this
the thing.
fairy
Like
tale.
Korea hasn't missed when it comes to like style. Like a lot of their games, like one that I always harken back to is like Eternal Return, which is a battle royale, but it's like a MOBA. It's like League of Legends kind of thing. But it's a fantastic game with a lot of power ups and a lot of ways to like they got a good market for stuff. I mean, even web like comics and webtoons. I don't know. Korea, people sleep on them. I sleep on my bed. Anyways. No.
Okay, well, that's it. Well, I don't have a suppression on you. You can't fucking yell to the mic. it
I'm
should
sorry.
it should get a
I
suppression on your
encountered
head.
something that I didn't know was in this level.
My gosh. Okay. All right. And then the last thing, and which would be the major topic here, I guess, will be Spider-Man 2. So I put about uh 10 hours into it so far. Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. I've been going in. Um, and man, this game is special.
Yeah, first of all, shout out to Insomniac, man. Like I am
Hell yeah.
so happy that that like literally first of all cracking above 90. But it's the first time that they've been able to do it's their second highest rated game since Ratchet and Clank Up Your Arsenal in 2004, mind
That's
you.
crazy.
So I mean that goes to show you just how difficult it is to like crack into the 90s, even for like a developer as good as them.
Yeah.
And that's not even that's and that game isn't even like what people would consider as the best like Ratchet game either. So it's like I don't know, man. Like they've obviously come close multiple times since then. But yeah, just talk about like a developer that like deserves that. Like they're on the top of the list. So like I'm so happy for them.
It's crazy because I was actually looking at Metacritic, right? And Super Mario Bros. Wonder is sitting at a 93, which is an incredible score, with 83 reviews. Spider Man 2 has a 91 with 130 reviews.
And there's no mixed.
No mixed whatsoever. It's all positive. That is crazy. For like, I know everybody loves Spider-Man games, or most people love Spider-Man games, but the fact that this one is just over 100 reviews and like none of them are like, oh yeah, it's just okay. Like no, everyone's like, no, it's fucking good, and I concur. it's it is great, man. So right in the beginning of it, the intro is just fire. No, shut up, Walt. It's fire. It's absolutely incredible what they do. And man, Soul, they flex the fuck out of the PS5 in that intro, dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
Um. I mean I know it's like it's a Sandman fight, but that's all that I really know about it.
Spoilers. God damn.
Okay, all right. So, well, yeah. I mean, well, spoiler. We'll just like save like we'll say what we are gonna say, but up to a certain point, I won't say a whole lot. But at least we can all say, what's on the table is the fact that Sandman is like the first boss fight, right? Leading into this thing is just like a Spider-Man dream. The man, like the way it starts is just so wholesome and funny and so Spider-Man like. And then when some music starts kicking up, and then you see Peter just jump out and he's starting to swing through the city, dog, it hits you directly in the freaking face how amazing this is gonna be. You get so hyped, the music is pumping, you swing it through the city, and it looks more detailed than ever. And my jaw dropped just seeing the city for the first time and all the foliage in the background, the reflective buildings, and just going through it at top speed with Peter. Like, it's so damn cool. And you see Miles actually swing with you in the background. How high can you get? And then you fight Sandman in the beginning. Absolutely incredible stuff, man. And it just keeps getting better and better and better. And then you start to see a little bit more of the DNA of the game, and that's where it's like, oh yeah, okay, so it is another Spider-Man game where you're gonna go do stopping crimes, you're gonna go do little side activities, but what makes it feel more refined and different is that crunchy combat. Well, I don't know if you noticed. Do you feel like it's a little more weighty and like a little more impactful when you're fighting?
Uh, I would say that there's a lot more going on when you're fighting, and I think that by proxy, it just feels like I don't know. I feel like because there's a lot of more gadgets involved, it does feel a lot more weighty when those gadgets are involved. Do you mean like the hand-to-hand combat?
Yeah, yeah, like the way like your punches feel. Because when I played Spider-Man Remastered and Miles Morales, it felt more airy, like a little less weight to it. And Spider-Man 2, I immediately noticed that like, oh, these punches actually have some impact it feels on the controller.
To be fair, I think also the the dual sense adds a lot to it,
Yeah,
like in a way that
100%.
the
Hmm.
first one didn't.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Like the first, I think yeah, no, absolutely yes, if that's the case.
Yeah.
Like talking about it that way,
Yeah, because that's I mean that's
I
what I
wouldn't say the
noticed.
Spider-Man feels different. Like controlling Peter feels the same as the first one, but he does have a lot more up his sleeve, you know?
Right. Yeah. Exactly. And Miles feels like Miles, like how kind of like flimsy he is, but a little more. I guess not flimsy is the right word. He's more acrobatic than Peter is.
Correct.
But yeah, either way, it
It to
feels
feel who's younger, who's older.
it feels more refined. It feels great, and it's just a lot of fun. And one thing too, well, actually, that I'll suggest to you too, because when I was swinging around, I noticed that it felt a little guided, like a little directed when I was swinging around.
Interesting.
So
Okay.
I saw someone post on Twitter to turn down the swinging steering assistance. That way, you get a little bit more of a challenge when swinging, a little bit more creativity, and actually placing your web slings a little strategically, and actually using the physics of momentum and speed and everything to your advantage. So turn it down to like one, you'll notice a difference. And I started to play around more with that, and I love it a lot more. It feels like I'm more in control of my swinging when I'm playing the game.
Interesting. I'll
So
tinker around with that then next time.
yeah, give it a shot. Like maybe put it at five and see if you like it, and then switch down to one, and you'll notice that you have a lot more like fluidity and more control over whoever you're controlling as and when you're swinging around. But yeah, overall, it's what I've been playing so far has just been really fun. And back to what I was saying before about they have a lot more refinement when it comes to the storytelling in Spider-Man 2, which is really at this point it's I was a little hesitant on Spider-Man 2 on whether Insomniac could really do up a sequel after really delivering on Spider-Man, the original 2018. And then with Miles Morales, while the gameplay and everything else was great, I think the story was a little lackluster and like the characters and everything besides Miles and his mom and Genki. But in 2, they really stepped up to the plate when it comes to just baking in every layer of story and making it at its heart a Spider-Man story. And sometimes I feel like when people are talking about this game, they get really caught up in the fact that I want to be a superhero, I want to be Spider-Man. Yeah, that is the most fun part of the game. But when you are having these heart-to-heart conversations between Peter and Harry, Miles and his mom, or even Spider-Man, a random civilian that you have a side mission for, it really hits home. And there's been a couple missions already that got me in the feels that yeah, this is like what Spider-Man's about. He is the friendly neighborhood Spider. That's why Tom Holland's Spider-Man from at least from Homecoming, Walt, you can recall this too when Tony asked him to be in the Avengers and he said no, like I'll just
Yeah.
start being everyone's friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. This is like that kind of theme that's baked into Spider-Man 2 and you feel that on top of all the epic stuff that's going on. So it's they just did such an incredible job like baking that into the game throughout, and it's really masterful.
Absolutely. No, I agree. I'm not that further away. I like further into the game to kind of make a more educated uh like opinion on it, but I definitely already see the foundation for how much more thought out this narrative is.
Yeah, it's really good. It's just it hits home. I'll say too. Everyone knows that Harry's in this game. I love this dude. He's he is that bro. Like he is. You can see why you can see why him and Peter are best of friends, and how heartbreaking it is that he left and for him to come back and for them to have that reunion and everything is really nice and they do make up for like that lost time and it's just really good. So Sonic is like on top of their game when it comes to storytelling in this game. It's really damn good. I'm so invested into the characters and what's going on. They have a lot of great callbacks. They have a lot of great Easter eggs thrown into with so many different characters and everything. It's man, it's just everything's so much fun in this game. But yeah, man, it's really great. Well, Web Wings.
Yes. Amazing, incredible. This is the glider, like that step in the sequel. You know, when the sequel's like, oh, by the way, this is the new traversal. I'm spamming that. Sometimes I barely swing, and I just use the wings. It
Yeah,
is so. It feels so good. It feels so damn good to use. Like they don't feel out of place, if that makes sense.
yeah. It's because they definitely thought about the wings as like another way of traversing, but also as a ways to combine traversing mechanics. Because one of my favorite things to do is to whenever I'm diving to just start swinging and then jump into the web wings, and then if I'm gonna make a tight corner, switch back to using the webs and just do like a quick like a 90-degree
Sure.
turn. And it's so fluid and fun, man. Like I just love how it feels. It really does feel like a Superman game at times, and how much you're able to do it. And what makes it even cooler is that you're able to like slingshot yourself, and it just feels incredible. What a way to
The quick
just
currents.
yeah, yeah. Those are those are the coolest thing, and I think it's hilarious too, actually, because one of well, I'm not gonna spoil it. Um,
Careful.
yeah, yeah, no, it was a side mission, really, but like it's just funny like the way like it panned out, and I was just laughing the entire time. But overall, it was just the traversing is really cool. And have you unlocked? I know you're early on, but have you unlocked fast travel yet?
I can tell how you can do it now. I haven't unlocked it, but it's really cool. Uh,
Yeah, yeah. No,
uh,
it seems like something that you like why it's just needed, but
mhm.
when I tell you when I first saw it and then doing it in the game, it's fulfilling every Spider-Man fantasy for me. Just it's like the movies where like you see Spider-Man's super cool intro just coming out from out of screen, just flying in or swinging in. This is
Yeah.
giving you the exact feeling every time you
Damn.
fast travel. This is so cool.
Damn. This they made a good game right here, huh?
They made an
They couldn't milk
incredible
it for
game.
too long.
They made an incredible. I can't wait for Soul to actually play it because the beginning of it, like the intro, what happens with Sandman. There's one specific part that's so damn cool that made my jaw drop, but I don't want to say it. But Insomniac fucking flex, man. They flexed their tech wizardry dev skills here. And they did it again with a side mission. And I was just like, yo, they're on another level right now. So, shots to Insomniac, man. They deserve every
The,
bit of the 91.
they deserve all the glaze.
Wow. Okay. Didn't know we're going there. All the
No,
You
Insomniac
guys
cookies.
take everything out of context, bro.
All the Insomniac
that's
cookies.
uh that's awesome to hear, man. I'm glad that it
Right.
delivered. Also because like it
Super.
feels like we needed this game from PlayStation since it's been slim pickings. So it's
You're
good
not
to
wrong.
know that yeah, so it's good to know that like the one game from them PlayStation Studios wise was like more than worth it almost, you know. Um but yeah, man, I'm really excited. I think I'll probably pick it up next Friday. So yeah, very excited to get into it. Um have you ran into those moments when you're just like randomly fighting crime as like one Spider-Man and then just randomly like the other one will just like pop in or he's already there like fighting that crime?
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
you know what yeah, you've run into that?
Oh yeah, yeah. It has happened, and I'll say that's not the only time that can happen either. Um,
I
there's a lot
I
of
can
cool
say
stuff
that
with
at
that.
the very first hour, Macho, real quick, that because that's the only I played and Soul knows about it. Uh, Sometimes you have finishers like like the other Spider-Man games, but in this one they can mix and match. If it just so happens that Miles is next to you, the finisher will include Miles, and it makes the fight feel not like you're like the fight less. It feels less about you controlling who you're controlling and more about these two Spider-Men fighting crime. And I don't know how they did it. I don't know how they make you feel that way. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, for sure. I'm glad you said that actually because this actually makes it feel like you know how like we kind of had that meme for Batman in the Arkham games, like oh, it makes you feel like Batman, be the Batman. This makes you feel like freaking Spider Man, dog at every corner, way unimaginable. It's just so cool. Yeah, I mean, I showed Walt one of the costumes you actually get, Soul, and it made me cry. It made me cry seeing this one.
And I understand why.
It was just it calls back to the Puerto Rican heritage thing where you play Miles Morales and then you walk around Miles's apartment and you start to see the statue of the rooster. You see the coquille magnets. You see a little
Empanadas.
it's, empanadas. The pasteles more like.
All the food on there. I'm like, damn,
Yeah.
I want it to be Christmas.
You see little like casitos like on the walls and everything. Like that's straight up Puerto Rican stuff, right? But they have a specific suit that calls back to Puerto Rican heritage, and not just like in a basic way either. They did their homework, and I saw it and I flipped out. And Sammy walked into the room. She sees me just crying. I'm like, they're doing this right. They did their homework, and this is like the best thing in the world. I can't imagine something any better. And then, well, I'm not gonna spoil it. They have a suit that's even cooler.
Oh man.
That's not tied to Puerto Rican heritage. Like that, you can't top the one I sent you. But they have another one that's even cooler, and you're gonna have to search for it and find out what it is because I showed it to Sam and she was like, "It comes in purple." I was like, "It comes in purple."
Oh man. Is that the Grimace suit from the milkshake?
No. Oh man, but yeah, no, it's
It's pretty good.
so damn good, man. I love this game. I was sad that I had to come and do this podcast because I want to go back and play more. That's the highest comment I can give.
Yeah,
Damn.
awesome. That's awesome.
It's good, man.
Yeah. So Spider-Man 2, guys. Sounds like Insomniac did the damn thing for sure.
They cooked.
Yeah, and it's funny because we were talking about the Metacritic earlier, and I know you guys aren't like on Twitter too much, but we had a little bit of a scare, after like I don't know, I think like 120 something reviews came out. Um, someone I forget which site exactly it was, but
Indie Wire.
yeah, they gave it like an 83, and it dropped the Metacritic down to a 90. So like everyone was like sweating, man. We're like, oh no, you can't take this away from Insomniac, man. They deserve this. And then,
They can't keep getting away with
yeah,
it.
yeah, and then you know that Survivor review is gonna come in the next couple days or so, and they're gonna give the
I
game
mean,
like a 7 or
th-
whatever.
It's and that's
that was the
so
vibe.
that's so crazy to me if that happens because
What?
Right.
they were saying before how like Horizon Forbidden West isn't as good as the first game, but it does
That's
everything
wild.
but it does everything better than the first game, and that's the same thing with Spider-Man 2, the same thing with God of War Ragnarok, where what we said before, how can you go back to the original knowing there's so much more in the sequel, so many conveniences that they just fine tuned up, especially with Spider-Man. I just played Spider-Man Remastered and Miles Morales. Dude, there's a jump and a leap and a fucking skip in Spider-Man 2. Like there's no way there's going back at this point.
The only thing stopping me from playing Last of Us Part 2 more than Part 1, like back then, was the depression. Was that the game was so tonally dark. But if it were me, like that game, like how do you go back to playing the first one when the
Yeah,
controls
yeah,
are so refined?
yeah, for sure.
It's insane.
Um,
And Spider-Man is prime example of that.
Yeah, and it's interesting seeing like the review strategy between like the two companies, because Bethesda notoriously they have like a bunch of outlets and reviewers blacklisted, and so what they did with Starfield was that they only gave codes out to like a very like select few. I think on review day there was like 40 something reviews maybe, and then obviously that's going to kind of like lean the score one way versus the other. So like it starts
Yeah.
off with like an 87, really really good score. Everyone's very happy, singing its praises. But then it's kind of like they shot themselves in the foot because obviously it's like, okay, well, you only gave 40 something outlets reviews, probably the ones that you deem like the ones that you trust. So the ones that you probably most know will give you high scores. And then what happens in the following days? All the other outlets start playing through the game, start beating it. They start posting their reviews, and then what happens? The score drops, you know. Whereas Sony with Spider-Man 2, they just gave reviews immediately to like everyone, right? Because like, I mean, we are what like reviews came out on Monday, and like not even a week later, like pretty much all the major outlets have their reviews like uploaded, So like, it's just interesting to see like the difference in strategy there for sure.
Yeah,
Um,
and
Yeah.
remember when
Also,
Cyberpunk only gave PC reviews?
yeah, that was
Only
crazy.
they only did the PC versions, and even then they were like, "Oh, this kind of funky." Yeah, because the console versions were basically like non-functional at all. Uh,
yeah,
these are interesting strategies. I may say dumb, even.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
Um,
still crazy to me how that they have like 130 reviews for this game out right now. Like that's
130 motherfuckers. Ain't that crazy that we're like we're regarding 103 jackasses that just went, wow, this game's pretty good. And we're like, right? And like we all just kind of simultaneously went, yeah, it's really good. And now everyone agrees because of 130 motherfuckers. That's
and
crazy.
Horizon Forbidden West has 138.
Oh,
I'm gonna look up God of War Ragnarok really quick.
Ragnarok. We're Ragnarok like at an 89 when it
No, it's a 94.
a 94. Okay,
And Ragnarok has 149 reviews.
damn.
wow, 149. It's saying at what 92,
94.
94. Damn.
I saw that with the wild card with Mario was Dexerto because Dexerto gave it an 8 when everyone was giving it 9s and 10s. So you always got that one reviewer that's like, you know what? I don't like it that much. It's like, all right, buddy, go play Knack.
But yeah, man. So that is Spider-Man 2. No
Very
one has
good.
been playing Super Mario Wonder, right?
Not yet, not yet, because
Not at me.
that's a Switch. So I bought Spider-Man because I still had some money on the wallet from birthdays and whatever. But Switch, that's a full price game, and I don't have that money right now. But I'm gonna get to it because it's Mario. Come on, it's the first 2D Mario in a while,
And
in a
and like
good
what I'm
while.
hearing, yeah, what I'm hearing about this game, man, it's pretty bonkers. Like,
Hmm.
yeah, like I don't know, it's just in terms of like, cause I at least, and you tell me, cause you're more of like a Nintendo guy than I am, but like the sense that I get is that like, um, Super Mario Bros on the Wii U and then new Super Mario Bros on Wii U, like those were like they were okay, you know,
Right.
uh, but
Mind you, they were
Wonder,
ports. They were HD ports of a 3DS game. Because there was new Super Mario Bros. That came on the
right?
Nintendo DS when it first came out. So they were just rehashing that shit and milking it to no. And with they also did new Super Mario Bros. With Luigi, and then they did the one for the Switch version that has Bowser and
Bowser's
all these
Fury.
things. Bowser's Fury, that was 3D Land, and that was a 3D/2D game, which is also from the Nintendo DS. So this is the first 2D Mario made for the Switch, like official, aside from
Mhm.
Mario Maker 2. But I don't count that one because it's a Mario Maker. Mario Maker is
Well,
like a community game, kind of.
well, then also to your point, this would also be the first 2D Mario that we've got in like mainline 2D Mario since what, like NES
Like the
or
Wii U possibly.
no, no,
Since
no,
the
because if those are just ports,
so
then
Nintendo DS. So since Nintendo DS, the Nintendo. Let me see.
Wow.
I might be
Really?
talking about my ass. New Super Mario Bros. Release date, DS. Because I'm counting those are put 2006. So New Super Mario Bros. Came out in 2006, and the Wii U didn't perform well, and they just kept porting that shit. So it's been nearly 15 years since we got like a proper
Yeah,
2D Mario.
yeah.
Um,
That's
that's why
crazy.
this is pretty huge. It's pretty
Yeah.
big, and the fact that not only that, Charles Martinet is not doing the voice. This is a Mario voice, and people are not fixating on that. They're actually appreciating the new voice.
Well, it's because like
I don't know.
what is he saying aside from like a couple of like jump sounds? It's not like he's
B-
like giving like
For
a
a
Oscar.
Wahoo and a
Yeah, it's not like he's giving like an Oscar performance or something. You know?
yeah, but you know how people go. You know that a
Yeah.
simple
Well, I
sounds
think those people
different, and
are weirdos if they're fixated over
yeah,
goddamn Mario's voice of all
I'd
things.
say those are the people that Atlas tries to tell, hey, use our deodorant, you know,
I
because
think those are
it'd
the
be
people
crazy.
who need to go outside and get a job.
No man, but
Kidding.
I'm so excited and I'm so happy for this game because also this is with new Super Mario Bros. And New Super Mario Bros. Wii U and Bros. Deluxe, which is the one for the Switch. It kept the same art style. It kept the same 3D Mario that we've had since the New Super Mario Bros. For the DS. They just improved it a little bit, but this is the first 2D Mario that has its own art style in a while. Like they haven't been this creative since literally like like Super Mario World 2 or Super Mario World. Like they haven't been this creative in that long, I think. So unless you count Mario Maker, but Mario Maker had assets from all the previous Marios. So yeah, I don't really count that one as a new Mario because it doesn't have its own flavor. It's just a Mario Maker. So Wonder is doing wonders for sure.
Yeah,
I'm really happy for that.
for sure. Um, but yeah, man, just what a great week, man. Just like, two major platform holders releasing two games above a 90,
I
like
hear the fucking smirk behind your
I
comment.
heard I heard him like trying to choose the words because as soon as he said two major getting scores and I'm like okay there's the shade because I'll say this last couple of months all three of them have I'd argue the three of them put out a banger but we know who's number three
Starfield.
what's that what is
I
that
said
game
I said
That's
Starfield.
wild.
I don't know what that game is I know No Man's
You
Sky
know
though
exactly that game's gonna be in
Game of the
in
Year
Keely's game of the year discussions. You know that.
You think Starfield will be there?
Yeah.
bro
I don't think
it's
so.
Man, well, we didn't think
I
that
hope
Stray was
you're
gonna be
right
in there, and we didn't think that Halo Infinite was gonna win Community Award of the Year. So anything's possible.
I mean, okay, so we didn't do this last podcast, or maybe we might have. I don't remember. Let's go down the line. We know there's gonna be 6 nominations for the Game of the Year specific category. What do we think those 6 games will be? Because I think there is 4 shoo-ins. Those being Spider-Man 2, Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom, Super Mario Wonder, and Baldur's Gate 3.
hmm
Does anyone disagree with those 4 being there?
no
Nope.
no
So that would mean we have 2 more. I think those last 2 games are up for grabs, and this is why I say I don't think it's a shoe in that Starfield will be there because first of all we have several games that are rated higher, several games that were received better. And we'll still have Alan Wake 2, which I don't know why I just feel it in my bones that game is gonna be like really well received, especially coming off
hmm
the back of Control. Um,
hmm
but yeah, I mean, just like Final Fantasy 16, Resident Evil 4, even Hi-Fi. And we've talked about this before, Macho. I put Hi-Fi Rush before in the Game of the Year talks before Starfield, like ten
I would
times out of
too.
10.
I would
So
too.
like, what are the last 2 games you think will be there? Like most likely will be there, and then like what are also the 2 games that you personally would like to see in there?
Well, you go first.
For some reason, So my thing was I really want Mario to be there, and I feel like yes, it's a given, but a part of me is like I wonder if it'll be another classic, oh, not game of the year, but best family game bullshit.
Well, yeah,
Like I don't
it'll
want
be
it.
it'll be in both. It'll
Yeah,
be in
but
both.
only that. Yeah, okay, so I want both. But a game that I would like to see there, and I don't think it's going to be there, is Hi-Fi Rush, because Hi-Fi Rush was the beginning of the year, and people forget. The attention span of a gamer is notoriously low and very small. So like I would like Hi-Fi Rush, I would like honestly Dead Space remake or Resident Evil 4 remake to be on that cuz Resident Evil 2 remake was I believe one of the contenders back when it came out. Uh so I would like to see one of those two. One of those two remakes cuz those are true remakes in a world of stupid remakes. What about you, Macho?
Well, I was gonna say, so what do you think is gonna be in there?
I I actually do think Resident Evil 4 will be there. Um,
Hopefully.
I I don't think Street Fighter 6 will be there, but I mean, like people forget,
Mm,
like that game was like a 90 plus on Metacritic, so like it's got a
best fighting
very
game.
well, yeah, for sure it will probably get that, but like it's got a low
Hmm.
chance, but like I wouldn't be shocked if it does get in there. We have like indie games like Sea of Stars, right? That and
Yeah.
Cocoon, both of those games are above a 90. Like I just feel like any one of those games deserve like you would only put Starfield in there purely because it's like a Bethesda, it's a big Bethesda game, and of course you got to put a big Bethesda game in there when it's like no man, like several other games have done way better than that game. Like Starfield dropped to like an 83 on Metacritic, man. Like I don't see how you put that in there, you know?
Well, mind you, in other years in 83 that's not bad, but in a year of 90 pluses that are
Right.
like all around the place, it's yeah, how do you even put that up there?
Yeah.
uh I think purely truly you're just going to have a very passionate amount of people saying, hey, I think this should be up there. And also, what other exclusives has Xbox thrown out this year that tops Starfield?
I mean, it's just hi-fi.
Exactly. So if we're gonna choose, I want Hi-Fi there instead of Starfield, but we know who's gonna be if it's gonna be one of the two. At least I would like Hi-Fi Rush to be like best action adventure. I don't know, like I wanted to win something because I was gonna say indie, but it's not indie. It's Tango. Tango's not an indie, right? I think they're a double A. Uh,
I mean, they wouldn't count either way because they're owned by Microsoft, so
right. So you can't really do indie there. So I don't know, man. I really don't. Starfield, honestly, in so many years, Starfield was like the biggest hype thing, and this year it's been the last thing on my mind. Like everything else has been so excellent. Like Mario, who would have thought that Mario would be overshadowing like today, like this year? Because I didn't know a Mario game would come out until last year. I think it was that they announced it, or this early this year rather, that we found out that Wonder was going to come out, and it already is higher than a game that was been anticipated for years and years and years. So. Uh, not my that's not my horse, Chief.
Yeah, I mean, for
yeah. What about you?
me, I think. I mean, so what were the given ones that you said before?
Mario Wonder, Legend of Zelda, Spider-Man 2, and Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned
Also,
before.
we didn't even talk about Armored Core 6 as well. I don't think it will be in there, but that game came
But
out
that's
this
another
year.
contender for sure. But it won't be there. But it's another game to consider when you're looking at all the
Yeah,
lists.
for sure, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'd like Final Fantasy 16 to be there, but I don't think it's going to. Um,
Mm,
for the same reason that Starfield wouldn't get nominated, in the sense that what it does is really big and grandiose and it's commendable, right? Like it's like one of those things that they shoot for the stars and they grab a couple, um, but they get
yeah.
back down to earth, and you're like, okay, what do I do now, kind of thing. Where yeah, I think it's like in that same boat. Whereas you have stuff like Hi-Fi Rush, where that is just like an incredible experience from point A to B, and it's just like right from the first minute you start that game to the end, it's enjoyable throughout, and like you just don't want to put it down. You keep thinking about it. Like yeah, like to me that's like I hope that's a game of the year contender because and people don't forget about it. And then you mentioned Street Fighter 6, and that perked up my ears because I said the
Oh yeah.
exact same thing to Walt and a couple other people, that people really don't realize
Hmm.
that Street Fighter 6, like what it does in its game design as a fighting game, not just for hardcore players, but for new people too. Just baking in the DNA of that gameplay into every part of that game is just a masterful thing that they've done as a fighting game. Like probably one of the most intimidating genres to get into and for people to actually perform in. They made it simple, easy, fun, and it is one of those things where it's easy to play but hard to master. And I know because I get my ass kicked all the time online.
Yeah.
So it's just I hope I get nominated because yeah, like everything about that game just really stand out. The only thing that kind of sucks is the story for World Tour and the grindiness
Hmm.
of it. But even then, like everything else is so amazing. And the way they're treating their fighting games too is that every time they release a character, not only are you just playing that character, you are also enjoying their story in World Tour mode. So you get a little bit of nuggets for a story too with that character, which is nice. So that's one. Liza P. I mean, come on, it's just so good. Uh,
It's so good.
yeah, there's just a handful of stuff, man. That's like really good this year. That I hope it gets nominated. But yeah, I think for me it'll be
Yeah.
Favi 16 and Liza P right now. That I hope will take those two spots.
If we get a best debut, I want Eternites to be up there for sure. Uh,
Oh yeah,
because I believe, if I'm mistaken, I saw on Twitter the developer has like an actual studio now. Like they have
Yeah,
like a couple people working with them. So that's pretty cool, man. It's
yeah,
pretty
for
cool.
sure. But yeah, man, just a lot of great stuff.
Hmm.
Lot.
Are we being unfair to Starfield though and what it
I
No,
does?
don't think so. I
Damn, you guys
really
stopped mad quickly.
no, because this year we got another free update from No Man's Sky that added shit that that game wishes it had.
I'm just
Interesting.
like
Okay.
I'm just like what like it feels like, which I wish this would have happened all the way back with Fallout 4. Fallout 4 kind of felt
Yeah.
like a tipping point for that studio in terms of just like fans kind of catching up with their bullshit, but not all the way, like still kind of giving them the benefit of the doubt. Starfield
Hmm.
feels like now like we've all the way tipped to the other side in the sense of just like people are finally waking up to like man, like yeah, these faces, like you guys have not improved these faces since Fallout 4. We're going back to the whole like Fallout 3 style when you go to talk to someone, it does like a close up on their face. Like yeah, that was cute with Fallout 3 in New Vegas, but now it's just like it just shines a spotlight on how bad these faces are. A lot of these quests are just like arcade, like everything about Bethesda's how they make their games is just like it felt cute back in like 2008 to like 2011, but like you guys are still
Hmm.
kind of doing this with like little improvements and it's just feeling archaic more than anything else. And like I feel
Right.
like people are finally catching up to it. And like if you like taking away like Xbox fans aside, even some Xbox fans have like pointed like called them out on this, but like just the reception, man, like the like there's tons of videos doing like analysis and like breakdowns of like their time with Starfield, and it's like all those videos are just laced with like complaints about just how archaic and old and how Bethesda's like process just has not changed over the years. Like that's why I'm just like I just would be in disbelief if that game makes it into the game of
And
the year at
mind
the
you,
end.
this big disclaimer for all three of us. None of us have played the
Right,
game, which is why we're emphasizing on research and references. Just like every researcher doesn't have to be a doctor, not every critic has to dive into everything. We're just analyzing it from, from an arm's length. And I'm not talking about gameplay or anything. I'm talking about what it has as a game and what it offers to me, the consumer, when I'm gonna buy it. And when you're telling me that it's not a space game through and through,
right.
I'm not. It's more of a story game. But that's not. what I went into start when I thought about Starfield, I didn't go into it thinking, oh, I'm gonna love the story. No, I thought about space exploration. That's
And
not
also, it's a space game that has like no other alien races to meet. Like this isn't Mass Effect in the sense of like you're meeting the Quarians or the Krogans or all these interesting species that are have their own like ways of life and culture and they're really interesting to talk to. There's just humans in this game. Like you'll meet like some like alien creatures and stuff like to fight and kill and whatnot, but like there's no like Garruses or Liaras or Tallies or things like that. Like it's just humans out there, you know? Like
yep.
and like as you were saying, Walt, like for a space exploration game, that's like that's so disappointing, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I'll,
Yeah.
I'll I'll play
It's
devil I'll play devil's advocate here because I've seen
all
some
right.
people equate Starfield storytelling to Nier Automata, which is like in a lot of
Okay.
people's best graces, their game of the generation. I don't even know if it was nominated
Right.
for Game of the Year, but I doubt it because while Nier Automata is amazing,
Hmm.
I think it's a pretty basic action game.
Correct.
That that's
That's not where the charm lies though. The charm
Right.
doesn't lie in its combat. The charm lies in that
I
the story
disagree.
that it's weaving. No, but here's the thing: the story that it's weaving and telling, it's a story that's not achieved in one playthrough. In order for you to get all the pieces of the puzzle, you have to beat this game. And I kid you not, this game has 16 endings. You have to play this game 16 different times to get the full scope of the story. That incentivizes replayability, that incentivizes exploration, and the combat is fun. It switches between a bullet hell game, a hack and slash, and a top down. So like this game already offers three different play styles versus a first person shooter that has close ups of narrative telling you a story. So like I will say, Nier Automata broke the mold with storytelling. Starfield, uh, it's Outer Worlds meets uh, a Bethesda game because Outer Worlds is Obsidian, right?
Or
Yeah.
maybe Outer Wilds. I'm not sure if that's the
No,
same.
Outer
No.
Outer
Wilds
no
is yeah.
Outer Worlds is wild though. That game is
Yeah.
phenomenal though.
And
The game is so
it actually tells a good story.
it's a
Oh,
fantastic story. And
you
mind
can't
you,
so
no,
you can't say
the
that. No,
Starfield story might be good.
you
The
can't say
Starfield
it
story
like
might be good. I don't know the
that.
story. That's why I'm not clowning on the
Not
story.
it is not.
I, I I don't know about the story on Starfield, but what I can say is that I don't feel I'm not compelled to buy it. Mind you, maybe it becomes my game of the generation if I. But right at this moment, the elevator pitch is not working.
And I think that game also like the reason why it also feels so outdated is because it released against two other giants in the same genre with Phantom Liberty and Baldur's Gate 3, and those two games just like it feels like it has like evolved the RPG formula in new and interesting ways, and like just in terms of like character writing, uh because Starfield only has four companions, and again they're all humans, and they all have this weird thing where they're all like goody two shoes, like they all just like there's no kind of like like layers to them. They all just want to do all good things. They want to help people and blah blah blah. Whereas when you meet like the supporting cast of those other two games, like they are all unique and different from one another. Whereas the companions in Starfield don't have that. Um, and then even like you guys should watch cut because like Cyberpunk is also a first person game. Watch
Mhm.
cutscenes from Cyberpunk and compare them to the cutscenes in Starfield, and this
Oh
is again
no.
where I say that that game feels so archaic. Like there's like just like moments when you're just sitting down and having a conversation at a bar as V, and just how like expressive the character that you're talking to is. Like oh like the bartender will come over, hand them a drink, and they pick up the drink and blah blah blah. Like you're just like fully immersed into that scene, and then you like have Starfield and the vice versa of like an exact kind of like a scene that's like comparable to that, where like you're sitting down and like talking business or like at a bar or something like that. It's just like the two ways that those two games handle cutscenes like that or like character interactions like that are night and day. Like there's several videos of like that on YouTube, just like Starfield versus Cyberpunk comparisons. Here's how one game handles their cutscenes and like character interactions versus how the other one handles it. And again, it's night and day, and that's why I feel like in a year where both Baldur's Gate and Cyberpunk release, like it really just makes Starfield look like just like it just comes up short in every single way. And it's the same. It's funny because it's the same exact thing that happened in 2015 when Fallout 4 released. Fallout 4 released and like it was getting like all these it was getting like pretty decent reviews. I think it settled at like an 86 on Metacritic or whatever. But like a few months before that, guess what game came out that was an RPG?
What?
The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt.
Oh man, but you can't. That's unfair. Like in
Exactly.
hindsight's 2020. Hindsight's 2020
No, no, but even without hindsight, everyone knew like, oh, because it got like a 93 on immediately when that game came out.
before it came out. Yeah.
But when it came out, like, oh, this is game changing. Like this is one of the best games ever made. And then Fallout 4 comes out a couple months later, and everyone was like, it's good, but it's not The Witcher 3, So like,
Right.
yeah, it's just like the same thing kind of happened this time around, and like,
So who's the Witcher 3 to Starfield?
Phantom Liberty and Baldur's Gate 3.
Okay.
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah, I would say the same.
All right.
It's
And
crazy, yeah.
Oh, by the way, I forgot another playstyle. In Automata, you can also do double sided, like a side scroller. You can do a platform. So that's 4 playstyles you can do in that game. Yeah, man. I again,
I don't know how we got
I don't
on
think
this,
it's
but
no, because we were comparing like game of the year contenders, and we arrived at considering what games are going to be there. And Macho said Devil's Advocate, and then we said, you want lids or do you want to go to New York?
I'm just trying to make sure we're getting all of our tracks here because
yeah.
For sure. For sure.
everything is it's up for a lot. There's so many great games up for Game of the Year this year that I want to make sure that we're not at least looking at all aspects of it, especially with Starfield, since it is a Bethesda game. They did go really ambitious with it. But yeah, I mean, I'm not saying I disagree
Yeah.
with you guys either
It's a
because
good Bethesda game.
like to me, like I don't see this in the running for Game of the Year. With all that we've got this year that have really pushed games with Baldur's Gate 3 with its storytelling, with freaking Final 16 and its boss fights and its music and its moments like that. And now we have Liza P being the true Bloodborne sequel.
Yep.
And Spider-Man 2
Yeah.
with crazy tech and storytelling. Like, yeah, I just don't see Starfield being in that same conversation with all these other games we talked about already.
Yeah.
Especially when Hi-Fi rushes exist. Like,
Yeah.
anybody that stands Starfield over Hi-Fi Rush, we need to have a talk.
Yeah, that's
And
crazy.
anyone that stands Starfield passionately, we hear you. We love that you love the game. But
It's okay to be wrong.
history is written by the victors, so you won't be able to write the history. Okay.
Our last topic is the PS5 Slim. So okay, so we got this early in the week, I think. Some like really quick like bullet points. So it's like a
Mhm.
30% reduction from the original model, like in terms of its size, it's like 30% smaller. It will have 1 terabyte of storage, but you know that like it's really gonna be something like I
It's like
think
800.
800, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is fine, which is like what, like one extra AAA game, right?
It's 200 more than the base game.
Right.
It's
So
too,
yeah, maybe fit 2 more AAA
sure.
games.
You can put one Call of Duty in there.
Hell, yeah. One Destiny,
Yeah. One
Um,
Destiny. You can only play Destiny on that game, on that console.
so it is going on sale in November. It's gonna phase out the original PS5 model, which is like, damn, bro, we're gonna have the old relic, man. We're gonna have a little time capsule, the OG PS5, man.
Yeah,
Before,
going back to PS3 eras, man. Fat PS3s, now we got the fat PS5.
yeah, man. The
Sheesh.
disc will be 500, obviously, same price. The digital will go up to $450. Something that's cool about this is that it has the whole detachable disk drive thing. Um, so even if you buy the digital version and you like regret it or whatever, you still technically can make it a disc version as well. So I think that's pretty cool that they give you the option to do that. Especially with these rumblings that we've been hearing about Xbox's
Rumbling.
next console being specifically all digital, their next Series X gonna be all digital. And then just generally like all these stores talking about, physical media possibly like them not having it anymore and blah blah blah. It's like a really uncertain time for physical media, so it's cool to see that like, hey, Sony is like giving you the option. But yeah, I don't have any like complaints about this at all. What do you guys think about this?
I mean, as far as
No.
the price is kind of like crazy because they're increasing the price of digital version to 450, and the disc drive's like $80. So essentially, it's getting more expensive.
I mean, I imagine because it's like it's the extra storage. There's like some other extra like goodies that's like something with like the SSD storage, right?
The
Um
SSD. Yeah.
Yeah, like there's like it's not just like like the OG disc version they're making it smaller and then they're calling it a day. Like there are like improvement. I'm not saying that that justifies the extra $50, but it's like in my head it makes sense why they charge more because like they are adding like new stuff into it.
Right. Right. Yeah. I mean, I kind of want it, man.
Do you really?
Oh man.
Yeah, I know. I kind of
Oh
want
Damn.
man.
I kind of want the
What
slim version,
happened?
man. I want it.
What?
I want it.
But okay, so there obviously there's the rumor of like the PS5 Pro too on the horizon. So it's like, what
I
what do you do?
know.
You're gonna have three PS5 consoles?
No, I'm probably gonna skip that Pro version. That Pro is called my PC, buddy.
Oh man.
I don't know. I look at it and just I love the slim form factor of it. And now that I'm streaming, to lug my PS5 from one end of the room to the other, and the thing's like 50,000 pounds. I had to hook it up to the Elgato. It's just like I could just make my life so much easier if I just got another PS5. It looks nice and sleek. It's gonna be lighter too. It's gonna have a nice little form factor, a little slimmy slim, and it looks good, man. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
All right, weirdo.
Maybe if Biden gives us another stimulus check, I'll think about it.
Oh man.
Oh man. Y'all heard that? Don't give us money. Do not give
Whoa.
us
What
money.
about you, man? Does this interest you at all?
Not doesn't interest me, but I'm glad for people that get to partake in it. I'm good with mine. I don't need another PS5. I get the OLED because that like changes things, but I don't like with the Switch, But nah, we good.
Yeah, but
Good for
Walt,
people
think
that
about
maybe
it. Think about it. You could take this
think about what. Think
PS5
about what,
to
Macho.
you could take this PS5 to your
Take
shoddy
it where,
place
Macho?
and stay overnight. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
Hook
I
it
can
up,
still do that without a PS5. I
hook it
can
up,
bring my Switch. I
hook
got
it up
enough
to
games.
hook it up to that 23-inch LCD monitor.
Yeah,
Just go in.
yeah,
You don't
yeah.
even you don't
450.
you don't even have to put it in a suitcase. You just put it around your big old arms and give it a bear hug.
Oh man, wait a minute. So
Yeah,
I think I have to
yeah,
reconsider then.
yeah. See, there
To
you go.
reconsider really not buying it this time. God damn.
So
Bro's
what about you,
crazy.
man? How about you?
Bro, that's wild.
Is a Christmas gift for your shoddy?
Hell no.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Hell no.
You're like she's getting Doritos and that's it.
Yes, sir. Um, I don't really need it. It's cool. I also have a question about like how the face plates are gonna work now. Like because it does have like that detachable like lower end. And it also has like that line. through it as well on like both sides. So it's like obviously because it's smaller, right? Than the current faceplates. And it's funny that the Spider-Man 2 faceplates just came out. It's like, well, this obviously is not gonna fit on this newer model. So it's like, yeah, I do they even continue faceplates after this? Like I don't know. So
I mean, they kind of didn't even do a whole lot of faceplates anyway, so I don't know if that's really an issue
yeah.
for them at this point.
Yeah. Um so yeah, I'm it's cool. Like I said, it's like I don't really think like sure you can talk about like the price, but I feel like this is pretty harmless. Like there's nothing really to like complain about or anything like that. Like it's fine, you know. It just feels pretty harmless, you know. Like it doesn't rock the boat too much.
I think that was the
And
intention, though, just because it honestly, PlayStation pushed out more hardware than first party games this year, and I think that was
um,
intentional just to get their numbers up a little bit more on the hardware side. And this definitely feels like a last holiday push to get more PS5 units out there than something groundbreaking.
But also, it's like it's tradition for them. They always release a slim version like 3 years into the life
Yeah,
cycle, so it was
Yep.
bound to happen. So,
and right before Jim
um,
See,
Ryan punches his ticket, that man's
that's
about to
that's
rock. That
that's the
man's about
show.
to
It
that man's about to put on his resume for his next job. Sold 25 million PS5 units in 3 years, or whatever it is.
goes to show it takes 3 years to lose some weight. So if the PS5 can, we all can. So
um, but yeah, that's the PS5 Slim. Curious to see if like they kind of keep this like design motif for like the PS5 Pro, or will it change drastically in the way that it looks? Because like that's the thing, like going back to like the previous PlayStation Slim consoles, like I feel like those consoles have like looked radically different than their original versions, right? Like thinking about the PS2 to the PS2 Slim or the PS or God, like the PS3, the fat OG PS3 to the PS3 Slim. That's the version that I got. I got the Slim. That was my first
same.
like that was my entry into the PS3, and like comparing those two consoles
Yeah,
is night
same.
and day, right? PS4 a
Yeah,
little less so, but it's still pretty different from the like what's the trapezoid shape of the OG PS4, right? That I love so
yeah. And
much.
then we got the sandwich after.
The
Yeah, we don't
Pro
talk about that one.
Yeah,
But
yeah, we
but
and then
do.
the
Yeah, we
Slim
do. I
that
got
which
that
is
Kingdom Hearts 3 version. It's fire.
God. But yeah, I'm curious to see like how like does the PS5 like go back to like changing it up radically. Uh oh wait, no, because I was talking about the Slims, but specifically with the Pro. Yeah, I'm curious to see like what do they do with
hmm
that. Can be interesting to see.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be cool to see what
yeah, we'll
what they
get
come up
another
with.
router looking. We'll get those. Remember those pictures that we got? We used to see it back in the day. It was like PS7, and it was like this like ball, just like a sphere. And you're like, whoa, this is the future of gaming. Or like someone was like, I got the Xbox 720. You're like, you got the Xbox 720? What does it look like? They show you this picture of this fucking like futuristic ass
Yeah,
looking
this
console. You're like,
ugly,
oh my
ugly
god.
ass
But no,
console.
it's like searching up Super Saiyan Goku, like Super Saiyan 10, and it's like so much hair. And you're like, whoa, that's so cool.
This reminds me of that image that
So
floated
PS,
around with the boomerang PlayStation controller for PS3.
Mhm.
oh my god,
Yeah, the
bro.
silver
I don't
one.
know. PS6. Do you think the next thing we get is like a different PS5, or are we good until the PS6?
Wait, what do you mean?
Do we get another iteration of the PS5 like we did Slim and PS4 Pro, or do you
Yeah,
think
yeah,
PS5 Slim?
we'll get a Pro after the Slim.
What does the Pro do though? Like the PS5 already is so amazing.
I
8K
mean,
ray
I mean
tracing.
that's for them to sell us on.
Yeah,
All right.
8K ray tracing. Where's stuff that was rumored? I don't know. I think what they're going to do. Oh fuck! You know how they're gonna get us?
No.
So we haven't heard shit about all games next year, right? Or what the other studios are doing afterwards.
Okay.
They're gonna buff up that Pro, make us get one
Mhm.
because every game that's coming on that is gonna be even better on the Pro.
That is the most vague and abstract like sentence. You gave me nothing, Macho.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
What does that mean?
Too many thoughts are like floating through my head right now that I'm trying to make sense of it. All right.
Because you just
So
said
imagine,
they're gonna
sorry.
give
All
us a
right. So
console
imagine.
and the
All right, I
games
get
are
it.
gonna be better.
Let me say. So they're gonna give us a PlayStation Showcase, right? And then they're gonna show off the PlayStation 5 Pro. And then right after they're like, this is stuff that's gonna be on PlayStation 5 Pro, improved, better than ever, ray trace, blah blah blah, 8K. And they're gonna show the Cyberpunks. They're gonna show
8K.
all that stuff, right? And then they're gonna show us Sony Santa Monica's game. They're gonna show us gameplay for Haven's game.
No.
They're gonna show us what Blue Point's working
GTA
on.
6.
Probably GTA 6. They're gonna show Ghost of Tsushima 2, and then we're like, fuck, now we gotta get a PlayStation 5.
Yeah, right after you get the Slim, you fucking clown. The fuck? Don't get the fucking. This motherfucker's like, ah, damn it, now I
Don't
need to
tell
buy
me
it.
to
It's
do
like,
my
motherfucker,
money.
when we
Don't tell me to do my money. If I
Shut
wanna
the fuck up,
if I wanna-
motherfucker. When
if
I tell you about
slide down on your titties, I'll slide
baby
down on your
money.
titties. All right, I'll do whatever I
I
want with my
can't-
money.
what?
All right.
Yo, that showcase honestly ruined my day, man.
Wait, what'd you say, Slow?
That showcase ruined my day, man.
See,
which one?
Told you.
The one this year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I called Walt and I'm like, yo, that showcase is horrible. He was like, Macho, why are you worried about it? It's just a showcase. I was like, because it sucks. We're waiting for it. That's why. Freaking clown.
Bro, I forget what I said. I don't remember half the shit I say, man. I don't know. I'm just passionate, you know? I just talk. I'm just here to talk.
You're just a fucking
Okay.
idiot, what you are.
I'm just, motherfucker, when I tell you, hey, yo, what about this game? You're like, no, I'm saving money. And then the next one, you're like, oh, well, I bought the fucking 19-inch fucking Matilda fucking game. Like, you bought the what, Sephiroth? What? You're like, I'm going to take all those inches. And I'm like, what's going on? Where are you saving money? And you're like, I got a second. Ah, what's going on? Fucking stupid. And then now, no, the PS Slim. Bro, I'm the clown too. I said the OLED, Switch OLED. Who's going to buy that? A week later, Macho. I bought the OLED. Fucking Pokemon. Oh, who's gonna play this Pokemon? It's broken. Next day, Macho.
Yeah.
I bought Pokemon. And that's all I played for the month.
He talked so
No, bro,
much shit
I-
about Pokemon that Sunday. He was like, Macho, I got Pokemon.
Bro, I fold. I know I fold. I don't give a fuck though. I got the money.
And
So
then you
I'll do
fold
it.
backwards too. That's the crazy part. You fold backwards like you're in the Matrix.
I don't give because I can be both a fucking croissant or I can be a fucking dumpling. So I fold both ways, okay?
Guys, that's the DualShock and Sense podcast. I want to thank everyone for tuning in, whether live or after the fact. Yeah. Want to remind you guys to go ahead and like the podcast, share it out, consider subscribing to the channel, all that good stuff. We're gonna get started with our outros here. Walt, go ahead, man. Since you said you had to go soon, so what are you up to? This?
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna first. I'm gonna do some chores. We all know those. We love them. Gonna do some laundry. Gonna go and feed the dog, walk him. Gonna maybe take a dump or two. But then after all that, gonna go ahead and dive into more Spider-Man, ladies and gentlemen. And Lies of P. I've been playing Lies of P as we've been doing the podcast. I got through the factory. I'm doing the factory right now. I see
that's a
why
good
people
one.
sometimes they think it's kind of hard. There are some points where you're like, oh wait, I didn't expect this enemy, but then you fight them and then you're good. I have a mystery movie on Monday. I'll update y'all on what that movie turns out to be. Hopefully it's a scary movie because we're in spooky season. Speaking of spooky season, I've never watched Scream, so I'm planning on watching that next week. Planning on doing a little marathon, hopefully, of the Scream movies. And aside from that, man, nothing else. Gonna see if, depending on how things go, Wednesday I'm gonna hit up Macho to see if we can play some Diablo. But yeah, that's pretty much it. What about you, Macho? What do you got going on?
I'll say with the factory, Walt, there's a certain boss that's there. That's very obvious. Explore everything to find out how to beat that boss.
Yep, yep. I realized that there was another path. I tried engaging him. I hated my life doing it, and then I realized, oh no, I don't have to fight him now.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I'll
Just
leave him to where his name implies in the future. I'll leave him in the future.
exactly. Keep exploring, and then you get to it. You're gonna. It's the ultimate aha moment, and it's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it's just gonna be more Spider-Man 2. Let's see if I could probably get back to Baldur's Gate 3 this weekend, but it's probably gonna be mostly Spider-Man 2, Liza P. To kind of knock those out. Actually, yeah, I think I'll do that. And then on Monday, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're streaming Final Fantasy 14. On Thursday, we're streaming Resident Evil 4. So follow me at Boricua Macho on Twitch. The description, everything's in the link. And I'm back on Twitter, so follow me on Twitter too. And then for people that miss the streams, I will be posting them up on the dedicated YouTube channel and some clips on TikTok. So be sure to follow me on there too. Be a lot of fun. Also, leave in the comment section of this video, and then come to the stream, my stream, and comment there on what you think Walt is filled with, since he called himself a dumpling. So let me know
Huh?
what you think he's filled with and who filled him, and we'll leave it at that. So kick it off.
Um. Yeah. For me, the next week is of course just more Baldur's Gate 3. I don't want to get into Cyberpunk just yet. I want to kind of take a break between these two RPGs. So I think once I finish BG3, it'd probably be the perfect time to get into Spider-Man 2. But then also Ghost Runner 2 is like right there as well. So like, yeah,
Oh man, your
it's
game of
good,
the
man.
year.
I didn't say it was my game of the year. I'm just saying that it's gonna be one of my game of the year. It's gonna be like top 5 for sure.
All right,
Um,
all right.
but yeah, so many good games coming out like right now. Like I want to buy like all of these games, so very excited for that. But yeah,
Do
that's
it.
pretty much
Go
it.
into debt, man.
Yeah, that's gonna be pretty much it for me. So yeah, closing out the podcast. Want to thank everyone for tuning in. We will catch you guys next time for episode 112. Until then,